Got it. Yeah. Recording in progress. So obviously what we will do is provide slides for everybody joining, as well as the video link as well. I see we've got a range of also my colleagues as well from BPESA and the Future Skills Platform team, and also some guests as well. So great to have you on board. For those people that don't know me, my name is Keith Rosmarin. And it's my pleasure to host you this afternoon for this briefing session for a really exciting proposition that we're going to put forward for the GBS sector. As you know, we're fortunate in our sector to be the fastest growing sector in the country. As the BPESA team and the FSP team, we wake up every morning to create impact and to create jobs in this country. And today's briefing session really helps to speak to an exciting partnership that we've established together with GIFS, which is the Graduate Institute of Financial Services, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So for guests that are joining, as well as my BPESA colleagues, please use the chat function should you have any queries about the briefing session, and we'll move forward into that. I think what we would like to do is kick off with a wonderful video that's been produced that provides a bit of an overview of the proposition and the GAP program that we're going to be briefing you on today. So I think with that, Coral, let's kick off with the video and then we'll check into the agenda and the rest of the program. Thanks, Coral.
You have a limited time to stay on Earth. You must try and use that period for the purpose of transforming your country into what you desire it to be.
South Africa, a nation with a density intertwined with progress and empowerment. By the year 2050, our workforce is set to surpass even the giants, India and China combined. The future of the global labor market resides in Africa, and within our borders lies an urgent call to action. The mining sector, a cornerstone of our history, is approaching obsolescence by 2060. Arid lands impact agricultural work. The time for the BPO sector to rise has come. It's not just about claiming a place on the African continent, it's about leading on the global stage. In response to this call, multi-award-winning educational institution and globally lauded for its quality and innovation, the Graduate Institute of Financial Sciences has partnered with BPESA and have co-created a world-class learning program that encompasses work readiness, as well as ensuring optimum performance on international standards in the financial services and global services sector. The GBS Accelerator Program is twofold, gearing individuals not just to enter the global business sector, but to become business leaders in global business services. Whether it's navigating the intricacies of the financial services sector or mastering legislative training for financial services, we've got it covered. Compliance and competence are at the core of our training. We teach not just the technicalities, but also the etiquettes and netiquettes necessary to operate at the highest level. The best part? Our program operates as a learnership, allowing companies to recoup costs through tax rebates. When your company thrives, so does our program. A percentage of profits, instead of going to the taxman, directly contributes to nurturing the future leaders of our industry. Our program follows a broad camp model, front-loading learning to ensure unencumbered availability for work. Complete logbooks track progress, ensuring each learner is on a trajectory to success. Today, we invite you to join the GAP program, where we not only found the gap, but are committed to closing it. Let's bridge the gap between potential and excellence. For more information, contact Andy Searle, or Brendan Ribeiro. Let's maximize on triple BEE benefits, scarce and critical skills earning maximum learnership points. It's about youth development. It's about empowerment. The GAP program. Because it's time to rise. Rise, GBS, rise.
Thanks very much, Coral. And I think the way in which the video was branded, using a play on Rise, which is the brand that we used for our BPESA conference held down in Cape Town. And our partnership with the Graduate Institute of Financial Sciences is an exciting partnership that we're looking forward to, especially to build and develop the skills that we require to support growth in the sector. So today, the agenda is that we're going to track through just a brief description of our partnership with GIFS, and Coral will lean into describing the program, the targets and intake scheduling, how we're going to deliver on that program, and the value add that we've provided also in terms of through GIFS, access to tax rebates, support at least to apply for those. And really this is also about a call to action on how to participate in this program across the next year in particular, but also for the next year. So our focus, I think, especially is for cohorts that we intend to have in play in February 2024. Hence our reason for briefing the sector early on in December to build excitement, interest, and any queries that you might have, so that in January we can hit the road running. So I think just in brief, Coral, just move into the next slide. Our focus around our partnership with the Graduate Institute of Financial Services is really a strategic partnership, and our focus is really around building the type of skills that we need for young unemployed individuals in particular to succeed in our sector. And GIFS is a trailblazer. It's a market leader. It's been around for well over 18 years and has a footprint in the financial services sector. It also has infrastructure and training infrastructure in multiple places across the country, and we'll be able to leverage that training infrastructure for this program that we'll be implementing and executing from February of next year. And GIFS, our partnership with them and over the last number of months, and I see Andy's on this call. Andy, and please jump in as well to also support. We've worked really hard at building and developing this partnership, and GIFS is committed to developing more insights and understanding around what our industry needs and partnering with BPESA. And they also have research which regularly matches the National Skills Development Strategy and Skills Plan, and to ensure especially that they align to financial services sector. And many of our operators have verticals in finance, in insurance, and I think this is where we're particularly focusing this particular program. But this is really a call out for interest, and to make sure that programs that we are providing are in demand for in-demand skills, but they're also accessible, but more importantly are accredited. And these particular programs are accredited with the bank SETA, in-SETA, services SETA, of course, then together with the QCTO. And the programs will be tailored especially for the GBS sector. And Coral will also take us through how we're introducing work readiness as an integral part of this program. So Coral, I'd really appreciate if you would come on now just to take us through the program. We'll monitor the chat for any queries or questions that might come up, and leave sufficient time for that towards the end of the program. Thanks, Coral.
Great. Thank you so much, Keith. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Coral Albitzer. My role in BPESA and the Future Skills Platform is as Program Manager. I'm joined by a full team today that will be driving this partnership together with the Graduate Institute of Financial Sciences. So it's really a pleasure to launch this very exciting opportunity to the BPESA member network. and to be taking you through the information as we prepare and gear up for the new year. So I'm going to take you through an overview of what is coined the GBS Accelerator Program, GAP. The overview of the program, in essence, is a 12-month qualification. What we are targeting for this partnership with GIFS is leveraging the formal accredited qualifications with the targeted and relevant CETAs to deliver 12-month qualifications that do also incorporate upfront work readiness training. And we have conceptualized a design to accommodate 6 weeks upfront of bridging the gap. And this is so that we can support and source young excluded South Africans and address the skills development requirements that are required for these young, inexperienced individuals entering the workplace, and for many of them for the first time. And so what we have is a menu of the GIFS qualifications at an NQF4 as well as NQF5 that the GIFS team together with BPESA will be offering the BPESA member network. The qualifications that we have put forward, and BK will talk to you later in the presentation about how to participate and completing an expression of interest survey. You will see that there are options. There are no limits to how many of the qualifications you can mark off for interest for your organization. The qualifications, as you see, is contact center operations with services CETA at NQF4, generic management with services CETA NQF4, retail insurance, short-term and long-term insurance, all within CETA, and then wealth management. And at an NQF level 5, the qualifications on offer are short-term insurance, excuse me, as well as wealth management within CETA, and then a national certificate in banking with the bank CETA, and a generic management qualification with services CETA. So what I do want to flag is the GIFS team will be engaging with all of our interested partners to continuously share updates and information as it pertains to the expiration of qualifications as we move into the second part of next year. The team are doing work to make sure that all of our partners are adequately equipped with information and informed to plan correctly as we transition beyond Q2 next year. So the proposition that we are putting forward to the BPESA members is a very exciting proposition. This is a paid-for skilling opportunity, which is an all-inclusive fee of $22,400 excluding VAT per person. And you will see we've made a note that the Graduate Institute of Financial Sciences is zero rated for VAT for these services, and no VAT is applicable. I would like to flag that the normal fee for the GIFS qualifications alone, and GIFS is an absolute market leader, the normal fee is around 36,000 Rand per person, and they are offering an exclusive one-time offer to our members, and that is to galvanize growth in a very exciting sector, the global business services sector. And this 22,400 is all-inclusive of access to the program, the training materials, the online modality, the delivery, which is inclusive of facilitation, assessment, and moderation, as well as the onerous work of doing the CETA administration and the final competency certificates. But I would like to stress that, of course, in partnership with BPESA Future Skills, our core mandate is supporting excluded unemployed youth with the necessary skills to overcome the barriers to accessing the formal economy. And so included in this is this wraparound support package, where that is the BPESA Future Skills license, so access to the platform for the period of a full year. And included in that is upfront work readiness. we've got a very exciting approach with our team, where our team, together with GIFS, would be collaborating with your organization to design a customized work readiness approach, leveraging your existing work readiness training materials, leveraging our existing work readiness training materials, and adapting unit standards and learning pathways that the GIFS have in an existing format to incorporate and stitch into a unique experience that meets your business requirements. So we're very excited about this new opportunity. We're also very excited about this novel introduction of embedding the work readiness training into the 12-month qualifications. And I do want to emphasize that we have a goal collectively, GIFS and BPESA, to jointly accredit a work readiness program with the QCTO. And we will set out with that work next year and test run parts and components of the program design in this kickoff from February. The program targets and intake scheduling. So at a high level, the program has a target of impacting 2,600 unemployed youth. And from the 2,600 unemployed youth that we are targeting to source and take through an upfront 6 weeks of work readiness training or bridging or close the gap, we are aiming to then successfully transition 2,000 candidates or work readiness graduates into these workplace-based internships or learnerships. The key learning, focus, and delivery areas in this first stage is the delivery of essential skills for the workplace. And that's a focus on digital and financial literacy, with delivery that will be supported on the BPESA Future Skills platform. It is an interoperable platform, and we will design an experience that delivers the smoothest, most integrated experience for your business and for your training department. We will then take the goal of 2,600 sourced candidates and split that into quarterly intakes. And this is so that we can manage the delivery and ensure that we collectively have adequate capacity to ensure that we can deliver on quality and standards as we support your organization and your beneficiaries work through the selected qualifications or programs of choice. We do have a target of transitioning 2,000 youth successfully from the learnerships into permanent employment. And we're confident in that target. GIFS has 100% success rate with graduates completing their qualifications and transitioning into new employment or improving and growing professionally, either laterally or vertically. So we're very excited. GIFS are extremely committed to the quality and the delivery of this program to ensure that you achieve 100% success. So we've provided a tabular view of more or less the parameters or the intakes that we have scheduled from February next year. That's when we commence with the first cohort of 650 youth. And after 6 weeks, that then gets filtered down to 500 successful work readiness graduates who then commence with their learnerships. And that will run for the remainder of the 12 months until their successful completion, after which they transition into employment. Now, you can participate in this program by selecting which quarterly intake suits your business best, as well as selecting the volume of candidates you put through and how that is allocated per qualification. I think the key message is that our teams, BPESA together with GIFS, will absolutely flex and adapt to make sure that we can support your organization. And so the ERI survey is a key tool that we will be using to not only engage the interest, but understand better your skilling agenda, your timelines, and your planning, so that we can arrive on agreed training intakes to meet our targets as well as meet your requirements. So as mentioned, the program delivery, GIFS is going to be working directly with each of your organizations to not only take an existing qualification, but to furthermore ensure that the program fits into existing training interventions, supporting onboarding and business-specific training to create a seamless learning pathway and a consistent experience for your learner beneficiaries. Employers do have the opportunity to leverage the GIFS training facilities. They have state-of-the-art facilities that are located in Durban and Johannesburg, and this is being offered to our members at no additional charge. Training will be delivered fully online using a state-of-the-art GIFS LMS, Learning Management System. The platform is powered by a new Spring, and it is leading learning technology, where GIFS are able to manage the full end-to-end learning experience, and that includes the CETA administration, the submissions, the National Learner Record data uploads, and the certificate of outcome or competence with the employers and the learners. GIFS do allocate a dedicated program manager who will act as your single point of contact, alleviating any bottlenecks through our team. A full orientation session will be held upfront with all of the key stakeholders collectively across your organization, GIFS, and the BPESA team. And there we will define the expectations, roles, and responsibilities for the project. The first 4 months of training will be spent covering theory, and after this period, learners will enter the working environment where they can commit to their full day's capacity of operational work. The only admin that is required for our participating partners is the maintenance of logbooks, and that is for the tracking purposes of notional hours. I'd like to cover the incentives and cover the tax rebates, the ETI eligibility, and BPEE. The GIFS team, furthermore than the program delivery, will be supporting each employer organization with the help of a tax specialist to ensure all of your documentation and processes are in order for submission to SARS to receive tax incentives for the learnerships. The incentives that are offered through this tax rebate is a fantastic opportunity to directly offset the costs of the training fees that are paid to GIFS. So the incentives are applicable at 50% of the program cost, which is all-inclusive 22,400. And then, of course, that is applicable at an enrollment stage as well as a completion stage, and then prorated if there is an early termination of the learnership. I'm quite sure that a lot of the organizations are very familiar with the tax rebates, but do want to highlight not only is GIFS offering an exclusive opportunity through an incredibly reduced fee without compromising on standard or quality, which includes the BPESA Future Skills platform licenses and work readiness training, but also through the SARS tax rebate incentive, this significantly offsets the cost of the actual training program. Furthermore, employers can benefit from the employment tax incentive, and this further reduces the employer's cost of hiring these young individuals, and this is through a cost-sharing mechanism which has been designed by government. And furthermore, employers will receive full recognition for their skills spend, or your skills spend, against your BPEE scorecard. So we are in this partnership looking to absolutely maximize your value throughout the experience. So how do you participate? We do, as I have mentioned, have an expression of interest survey. You'll see there's a QR code that you can use to scan and be channeled directly through to the EOI. But at this point, I am going to ask my colleague, Babakile. She is going to come on, and as our business development administrator, she is driving the engagement with our partners and offering support to ensure that you have access to all of the information that you require at this stage. BK, I'm going to hand over to you for a quick summary of how to engage and participate.
Thanks, Coral. Good afternoon, everybody. Just to further elaborate on the survey that we are using to collect the expression of interest, the survey is for us to just get your indication. It's by no means a commitment. So it's very short and simple and will probably take about 5 to 10 minutes of your time. The survey seeks to just assess your readiness to participate in this GAP program. We also just want to understand your training needs for the upcoming year in terms of focus of formal training, as well as certificates that your organization is likely to need for the upcoming year. We also just are asking a couple of questions around the readiness to participate, and we're checking if you were to participate, what's the number that you are likely to take on, and also just to access the timelines when you can start participating in the program, because as indicated by Coral, we have 4 intakes starting in February, May, and so forth. We are also just gathering information on numbers and how many people are likely to participate in this program, and what type of qualification would you be interested in based on the NQF level 4 and NQF level 5 certificates that GIFS has to offer. And we also just wanting to understand your ability and capacity to participate in this program in terms of your infrastructure, the equipment that you have, and also connectivity. And also we just want to understand, what are you currently doing in terms of upskilling? Do you have an outsourced training provider, or do you have an in-house learning management or experience platform that you currently use? Is it accredited or not? And to understand the sites that you are located in. If you have multiple sites, what are the sites that you want to participate in this program in terms of location? And also just to gauge your transition pathway for the graduates, and what are some of the roles that the graduates will go into once they've completed the program, and also just to have an overview of the organization's growth and development so far, and also just to understand some of your previously successful outcome-based skills initiative that you have undertaken in it as an organization, and just how your overall approach of impact sourcing and transformation. So that's just what the survey seeks to understand. It's very simple, very short, and if you can just please scan right now and complete it whilst we're still here. Alternatively, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to me to my personal email address, which is babekile as my name at bpesa.org.za. Thank you.
Thank you so much, BK. Apologies, I just had to do some extreme navigation to get back to my mic. Thank you, BK. Thank you so much for that feedback and the information. What is included in the ERI survey? That's a very simple process. And if you do have any questions, we screen up Babakile's email address towards the end of the slide pack. Before we transition into a Q&A, I just wanted to close out. We have grown tremendously, the BPESA Future Skills platform, since we started off this very exciting journey on the 4th of May last year. In fact, today I represent 32 partners, and we are already out of date. We have scaled up to now very proudly supporting 49 of BPESA's members. So we have grown significantly. We are also supporting the sector in various ways across various targeted audiences, supporting companies with beneficiaries participating in funded skills learning opportunities, supporting businesses with their own pipeline of needs. Those are young individuals who are not in education, employment, or training. And we are also engaging directly with young excluded South Africans to support them with access to education, and very specifically to work readiness training and the basic digital skills, so they can transition successfully into the exciting global business services sector, especially as it becomes increasingly digitalized, with a focus on multiple skills that we are now starting to include into work readiness interventions as a step up from Digital Literacy 101. So we're very excited about the progress that we've made. We have touched over 19,000 beneficiaries since we started the platform last year. In a very short space of time, we have scaled up significantly. In this operational year alone, we are just shy of having registered and supported 10,000 individuals across these various streams of participation. And we look forward to 2024 and mobilizing this very exciting partnership with the Graduate Institute of Financial Sciences. Thank you so much for taking out the time to join us this afternoon. As promised, here goes BK's email address for any more information. Please also feel free to reach out to schedule a one-on-one meeting. Anyone from our team would be absolutely delighted to engage with your organization and understand your needs better. And of course, in 2024, we will be running a number of information events, both virtual and in person, so that we can engage and share more about this exciting opportunity as we gear up for success. So I think at this point, I'm going to stop the slides and transition back to Keith as we close out with Q&A. Thank you so much, Keith.
Thanks very much, Coral. We believe it's a really exciting program. I know a few of you have joined a little later in the session, so we will make both the recording as well as the slides available to you, and then we will be having and hosting more sessions, one more this year, and then a few leading into January, so that we can actually get going with our program in February. So I'm monitoring the chat. But I know that we are able to, you're able to come off mic as well. So if you do have any queries, please either raise your virtual hand or in the chat, just let us know if you have any queries or questions about this opportunity. Just checking in. I know it's an interesting time of the year, and I'm sure everybody's looking forward to a little bit of time out as well. But I don't see any queries or questions at the moment. But should you have any, you do have Babakile's email address. I am also accessible as well. So please reach out to either one of us for any queries, and we will set up some time either on a one-on-one basis or certainly respond by email. And even though I think we will be closing towards the end of December, around the 22nd, for a short period, we're always accessible via email, especially for these high impact projects. So I think with that, everybody have a wonderful day further. Looking forward to the new year and the projects that BPESA will continue to drive. And looking forward especially to your participation in this project as well. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks, Coral. Thanks, team, for helping pull the things together. And enjoy the rest of the afternoon and evening.
Thank you so much, Keith. Thank you, everyone.